want to talk about the nature of the devil for no particular reason, just because today my thoughts have become clear enough, and other people like Charles from MDA have been talking about it. So there were two natures of the devil described in the past, if we're to believe history. Now, one we're quite familiar with, well, which is pride, or more correctly, hubris. So, pride is often depicted as arrogance, or pride before the fall, that kind of thing, let's see, this example. Hold my beer, watch this, kind of thing, right? Like arrogance. People basically, when they think of pride, they think of arrogance. And usually the thing that is cited is when the devil raised his throne up to the level of God. And they say, oh, that's the ultimate depiction of pride. But that's not the pride that was spoken about in Christianity, really. The pride that was spoken about is the pride that we're seeing right now. It's this arrogance that a lot of people truly believe that they are improving the world. And I misuse. See, already I use the word arrogance. It's not really an arrogance. Like climate change would be a good example, or like how scientists are the thing is not to be that guy, but believing that the world is round is basically a religion for most people, because they haven't done the experiments themselves, right? So basically they're just trusting what other people told them. They're trusting authority, they're trusting what you can read in the book, and believing in the planets, right? You can create Jupiter in Photoshop. You can create that image of the circle, and what do you know of Jupiter other than that image, right, of the circle that you can create in Photoshop? Sorry, but I'm already getting away from so the first step is the belief in that, but then to say to have this mentality of oh, we're gonna save the world by going to Mars, or whatever. That's Luciferian doctrine, right? And that's the Tower of Babel, right? So the Tower of Babel, or Babel, however you want to say it. Our modern version of that is fucking SpaceX, basically, right? Where, it's obvious why it's gonna fail, right? To any rational person, because we can't even coordinate one city on Earth. So how we, I think obviously the appeal is people think oh, if we get a fresh start and we only send 160 IQ people to Mars, surely they'll be so intelligent. But that's exactly it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. This is hubris, thinking that somehow, because they all have 160 IQ, or they have agreeable personalities, that the issues of humanity aren't going to arise naturally, because the issues of humanity, it doesn't come from a person, right? It comes from interactions and fucking demonic influences and shit like that, which conveniently I'm going to get into right now. So the other aspect of the devil, and in the writings, if we are to believe them again, these are the only two aspects. So there's not a hidden third, fourth, fifth aspect. It's just hubris, and the other one is nemesis, which the English word nemesis comes from. But I believe you pronounce it nemesis, and I believe it comes from Greek, but again, I don't really, who cares about history, right? It's just words on a page, it's just words on Wikipedia. You don't know that they weren't just made up by AI. And Nemesis, this is Nemesis. So Nemesis, yeah, this is the whole reason I wanted to do the video. It's kind of a petty reason, but I thought of the best example of Nemesis. Nemesis is what I would call like entertaining someone with hatred. So I thought the easiest example is say if someone is infatuated with you, but you don't like them, and you you hate them. They're infatuated with you, they're in love with you, but you hate them. So what someone could do is they could do nemesis, which is this, which is entertaining with hatred. So you could basically you could give them everything they want, but in a sense of enslaving them. Right? So you could be I hate you, and I hate your desires of me, right? It's almost it's pure hatred, because it's even your love towards me is disgusting, right? So it's you can't get much more hateful than that. And that's kind of the point. So you could entertain that, right? And and that's basically the perfect illustration of the devil, and that's why they say the devil is a gentleman and shit like that. Because the devil is willing to what's an example? What it comes back to is justice. So mercy is the opposite of justice, and I've talked about before that I don't think I'll put the recordings up because they're too hardcore for this moment in history. But one of the biggest issues in society now is that we just let the criminals run free, right? And we just import people from Angola that are they're just gonna smash things and steal and shit like that. Not that it's about immigration, but it's a good example of it's excessive mercy. And when you look at it that way, it's easy to see how mercy is the opposite of justice. And Sam Hyde put it a really good way. If you go to these places, if you go to Angola or Somalia or whatever, your first thought isn't oh, these people are so hard done by and exploited, and that's the reason they're poor, is because everything has been taken from them. Your first impression is man, these people are going to be poor forever because of their mentality and their behavior and their beliefs, and a lack of unity and all this shit, right? How Africans, again, it's not about race, but how Africans fight over the tiniest ethnic difference, right? It'll be oh, the tribe across the river is has 0.001% different DNA to us, therefore they might as well be a completely different alien species and shit like that. So yeah, a lot of what you see in today is excessive mercy being the opposite of justice, and literally all we need to do is take away that mercy. Another good example is it's basically taking away the lesson from people. So if someone is really selfish and they decide to drunk drive every day for 2 years, and somehow miraculously they don't drive into a family and kill a whole family, but they do crash and break their own back. We have things like the Hippocratic Oath, right, to heal everyone, but that's all I'll say is there's a reason that the Hippocratic symbol is a snake, two snakes going around the staff. Some, how can I say it? A lot of the lessons that people should learn are impossible to learn in a society that is too merciful, and that's a lot of the problem. Yeah, the real problem isn't that people are allowed to like run free and cause chaos. Like whether you want to use migrants as an example, or like drunk drivers or drug addicts, or whatever. The problem is that the lesson that they were supposed to learn is like robbed from them. So this will tie back to the devil eventually. So like, well, I guess I'll tie it back right now. So the devil is the opposite of that. So like, well, the devil is like when you take that too far, would be the best way to say it. So like, so you can take away mercy, but then like, yeah, if you take away mercy to a point where like it's purely about hatred. So the devil could have the same perspective of the person that's infatuated with them, right? And the devil could be like, I'm going to have like absolutely no mercy with you, and yeah, my point of like entertaining you and like stringing you along into your own desire. Like the classic demonic example of like paying for a drug addict's drugs or something like that, right? Just like an act that is like blatantly demonic, right? I think I think it's one of the few things that like we could objectively agree. Yeah, like just like buying an alcoholic alcohol when you know that you're just like sending them into like the pit of their own desire. So what was it? Yeah, Nemesis. So yeah, this is Nemesis. Like taking it too far and being spiteful in a way that is like attractive, if that makes sense. It's like you're going to give the person exactly what they want, but like in the worst way. I guess there's a reason why, yeah, the genies and the demons have been like have been equivocated over the years. But the last thing I wanted to talk about is what Charles was talking about. That a really good example of Nemesis. So I talked about the example of SpaceX being like the example of arrogance in the modern age. So what's an example of Nemesis? Well, I think an example of Nemesis in the modern age is funnily pop music, because a lot of pop music is just like is just worship of the devil. So man, I hate Tina Turner, but so I think Tina Turner, yeah, is the best example for me. There's a lot of more common examples that Charles talks about with like what's the name, Mitsuki, and there's so many examples today. Like I don't even need to bring them up. Like just look at any song that's popular and read the lyrics, and read them as if, especially ones from women. Just read them as if she's like writing a love song to the devil. Yeah, if you listen to if you read the lyrics of a pop love song written by a woman or a man, actually, most of them written by men are worship of the devil as well, but a lot of them are obviously playing the role of the devil themselves. Anyway, Tina Turner, the best. Here we go. I'll call you when I need on you, or when I need you. Already messing it up. But see, straight away, think of it in terms of a ritual, right? You really, and I know I'm going full schizo, but I'll call you when I need you, right? They could just be, I'm just calling a person, but think of it in terms of a ritual, right? I'll call you when I need you. You come to me wild and wild. When you come to me, give me everything I need. Just entertain, right? If these were satanic lyrics, see how satanic they already are. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak a language of love to me like you know what it means, right? These are demonic invocations, right? Disguised as love songs. So this is Nemesis in like on display, right? Well, this is the result of Nemesis. And then of course the the chorus. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. I'm stuck on your heart, I hang on every word you say. See, when you read it with the knowledge, like, oh, this is a praise to the devil, right? It makes a lot more sense because if you really think about it, it's not natural for a person, even a woman that's like extremely in love, it's not natural for someone to be this obsessed, right? This kind of obsession can only really be demonic. Um, so a lot of the love movies and stuff, right? This is how it's permeated through the culture because this is an '80s song, right? So if it's this bad in the '80s, you can imagine how bad it is now. And yeah, Charles gives a lot of examples about that. But I guess just to close it as well, the whole like Eve eating the apple thing and stuff like that, people get confused with that. It's not about like women are fundamentally this, whatever. What it is that like the nature of Nemesis, or like the act of Nemesis, can only play out in its full like evil when it is loved. So like the way that I gave the example in the past is I would ask people what is more evil than something that is the most evil, right? It's like kind of like a riddle, and it's not actually a trick question or a paradox. There is a true answer, and the answer is the thing that loves that. Because if you think about it, that is true. The thing that loves the thing that is most evil, like, somehow it has to be even more evil to love that thing. So that's the nature of Nemesis, like taking the evil beyond. And this is very much how like this is how the devil kind of truly enslaves the world. I guess to me um like one, pride has been put on a pedestal by the devil himself. Where like when you bring up the devil, right? Usually people are like, oh yeah, it's fun. Pride is the deepest sin, and also, by the way, it's not. That was invented by the Catholics. The deepest sin is betrayal. Um, but yeah, people say, oh, the deepest sin is pride, and that's the nature of the devil, is to be prideful, and that's kind of the essence of the devil. But I think, in truth, the pride, or more correctly, the hubris, is kind of more like the left jab, really, to use the boxing analogy. The pride, the hubris, is just to kind of knock people off balance, right? Again, think of the SpaceX example, where we like literally think of the example like when so many people are obsessed with this, like I call it like technomania, or like you could just call it what it is, which is techno-fascism. But yeah, like how so many people today are obsessed with this idea that they think that somehow like technology is going to solve humanity's issues just through like some kind of brute force problem. Like, what was the best example where some CEO said that not that I believe in climate change, but this is a perfect example. He said that the carbon emissions of the extreme energy requirements of AI are worth it, because if we just like quadruple down into building more and more AI, then eventually the AI will somehow just figure out how to solve climate change. Like, that's the perfect example of like the modern Tower of Babel, and it's so easy to see how it's going to crumble, because like the AI is like not even capable of thinking to begin with. So like, how is it going to solve anything? But yeah, that's how, literally how the same with the like left jab, how through people like having this false like ideal that they look up to, whether they are like worshipping technology itself, or whether they're just believing in Jupiter, which or whatever, or Saturn, which these pictures of the planets were probably just created in like Photoshop or like Bryce 3D or whatever, back in like the 70s, or whatever, whatever the Photoshop equivalent was back then. Um, yeah, it's just to kind of like distort people's compass. But yeah, the true nature of the devil it really is Nemesis, and that's why we have the word Nemesis, which I think just means like ultimate adversary or something like that. But that's why the word Nemesis comes from Nemesis, because it literally means like the ultimate opposition. And um, I don't believe that the Bible is pure because it was put together by the Catholics. But um, most of what um, the devil is called, even beyond being called the deceiver, is just the opposer. So that's what they mean. That's what they mean when they say the opposer. They mean the nature of Nemesis. Um, and then yeah, it has to tie back into like becoming the most evil, right? Back to the example for Nemesis, yeah, for the devil to be the most evil, yeah, it has to play that role of Nemesis so it can be loved, and then through that like perverted love, then it can manifest like the ultimate evil. And it's kind of beyond the scope of this recording, but yeah, once it's done that, once it's created the ultimate evil, it's kind of a foundation. Once you can't get any more evil than that, or any more obsessed would be a closer word, or really, yeah, what I just said, perverted love, because then it gets twisted into, then we're getting into Swedenborg, yeah, that people start to get more and more obsessed with like love of self, because they're loving themselves through the reflection of their desires, and loving the world, or like what the world as in like what someone can provide to you, right? How like what's the easiest example? How like a lot of people love their partners because they like take them on trips and stuff like that. Right? Yeah, like you love the person, but like you're like kind of being intoxicated into the world and tied into the world like through the person, and then that perverted love um, goes on endlessly. But anything else, as usual, it's kind of a never-ending topic. But I hope this is kind of at least cleared up a lot of the shit that you just read online, and you're like, oh, I guess that's nature of the devil, whatever, and you just have you have nowhere to turn to.